Who says you can't have dessert first? I made a fat bun. I made a fat bun. Now, the best for last. These Swedish meatballs made with Beyond Beef. If it takes you more than 30 minutes a day to cook a meal or to make your meals for the entire day, I'm not even talking about like just for one single meal, but for the entire day, then this video is for you. But if you enjoy the process of making every single meal and you're not really busy, or maybe you really enjoy the process of making every single meal, then this video is probably not for you. But what I want to show you is that if you're curious about meal prepping on a vegan keto diet, it's totally possible, and you can stay within your macros. It really is possible, and it's delicious food. So let's get started. And while everything is getting prepped, I'm going to turn on my oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In a dish, I'm going to just go ahead and put these florets, and they're just breaking them apart with my hands. And in the meantime, I'm going to make the sauce that'll cover that dish right there. To make my sauce, I'm going to use this almond cheese that I love, 2 tablespoons of this macadamia nut butter. And into a pot, I put half a tablespoon of oregano and half a tablespoon of dried basil. It's making a really nice, creamier, it hasn't fully melted, but it'll be a fully creamy sauce that we're gonna put on top of our cauliflower. And at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of salt, just to season it. All right, my sauce is ready. It's gone thickened up, and I went ahead and turned off the heat. So now at this point, I'm just gonna add this into my cauliflower. So just spread it all around. Okay. Okay, and now my oven has been preheating at 350 degrees. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put this into the oven for 25 minutes. Okay, in order to prepare these Brussels sprouts, I'm super lazy and I'm gonna make it super simple on you. All I do is just cut them lengthwise and just remove their stem, and that's it. Okay, I prepared all my Brussels sprouts. All I did was just cut them in half and put them on a baking sheet, and now I'm just going to put my portobello mushrooms directly on there with some olive oil. Now, contrary to popular belief, mushrooms should not get washed. If you're really scared or there's some dirt on there that's kind of on the superficial area, all you can do is just rub it off, and if you're really concerned about it, you can remove this little film. Okay. And in order to just season this, all I'm gonna do is just drizzle some avocado oil on top. I'm very generous with it, as you can tell, and that'll help them to crisp up. And then with my hands, I just get in there. I get involved, kind of like that super involved mother at the PTA. And that looks good, and I'm just gonna sprinkle them with some salt, and they are good to go in the oven at this point. Okay, the next thing that I'm gonna do is prepare my tofu. So in order for me to prepare it, what I do is I press the liquid out. Now I buy firm tofu because I found that firm tofu has the least amount of water in it. So what I do is I just grab a paper towel, put my tofu in my paper towel, just wrap it around, and then wrap it like a burrito. Put it on your plate like this, and then get a plate that's similar in size. Put it on your plate like this, and then get a plate that's similar in size. So I have another one that's exactly the same size as this one, and actually this way. So I'm just gonna put it like that. Then I would recommend putting something like 2 onions on top, or something that will just put some weight on there to press it down. So I'm gonna press this down for 10 minutes. I feel like tofu is one of those foods that is just very versatile, because you could basically add whatever you want as your spice mix and it'll take that flavor on. So I really like to add cumin, smoked paprika, and my new favorite thing, everything but the bagel mix. And just like that, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the same oven that we have everything else in at 350 degrees. I'm gonna put this tofu in there for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna flip it and put it on for another about 10 minutes. Meantime, I'm gonna prepare my Beyond Beef. So I've rolled out all my meatballs, and I got 8 meatballs out of that entire package of Beyond Beef. In my pot, I have some vegan sour cream, I have some Dijon mustard, I have some vegan butter, and now I'm gonna be doing some vegan cheese. This is gonna be our Swedish meatball sauce. So I just grabbed 4 ounces of cheese, and now I'm just tearing it up just to make it easy to melt it. And then to this, we're gonna add a little bit of salt and a little bit of basil. It's about half a tablespoon. And I'm gonna put this on the stove top. So I added my meatballs into the pot, and I'm just gonna give them a stir to make sure that every single meatball gets coated in this sauce. We seriously eat these meatballs about once a week in my house because the Beyond Meat is seasoned so well that anything you put like around it, or anything you put it into, it just kind of takes on the flavor of the Beyond Meat. And the Beyond Meat is seasoned so well, like a smoky type of meat flavor, that it lets those juices out into whatever sauce you're cooking it in. So it just tastes phenomenal. I'm just gonna cook this down for about 20 minutes. Okay, I checked on my vegetables and they look really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and take them out. Take out my cauliflower bake or casserole. Just put that back there. And with that, I'm gonna replace it with my tofu. Okay, as part of our meal prepping, I'm gonna be adding a salad every single day. The next step before everything gets plated and put away is to make a very simple dressing. I make mine with tahini, limes, and a little bit of water. Just mix it up and I have dressing for the whole week. It's the simplest thing in the world. So into a bowl, I'm gonna be adding in 1/4 cup of tahini, 2 full limes, and into this mixture I'm gonna add in 1/4 cup of water and just mix this with my fork. Look at that. Okay, we're gonna set that aside. Now, in the meantime, I went ahead and prepared our first snack. So all I did is grab 8 celery stalks that were medium size. So they were, you know, about the size of my knife, almost the entire size of my knife. And I just cut them into smaller pieces, and this will last me 4 days. And with my celery sticks, I will scoop out 2 tablespoons of almond butter, and that'll be 1 snack. I buy this one. Any almond butter will really do. Just make sure that it's unsweetened and it also doesn't have any additional salt. Who doesn't love a sweet snack? So in order to make our fat bombs, I'm using a little bit of almond butter, 2 tablespoons to be exact. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 1 drop of this English toffee stevia sweetener, another 2 tablespoons of regular cacao powder. Make sure that it's not sweetened. You don't want to buy, you know, Nesquik or something like that. You want to make sure it's cacao powder or cocoa powder that's unsweetened. Okay, so I'm gonna put this over the stove at low heat. Now, once it starts to melt, it'll look something like this. Okay, so I realized I didn't have any molds, and I also didn't have any muffin cups or those, you know, paper things to put your muffins on. I did have parchment paper, however, and I do have a muffin pan. So I'm just gonna make do with what I have and pour this mixture into the parchment paper, or onto the parchment paper, and then put it in the refrigerator so it cools down. And which one doesn't have any? That one looks kind of lonely. This one looks kind of lonely too. And yeah, these are some fat bombs. Now, obviously you can make these look a lot prettier by using some molds that are silicone, and you can just pop them out, and this one was a total fail. I have my entire meal prepped for the week. I've got tofu, I've got cauliflower, I've got some Brussels sprouts and portobellos, I've got some Beyond Meat Swedish meatballs, I've got my salad, I've got my tahini lemon dressing with ginger, and I've got my snack, which is celery sticks, and I've got some almond butter in the pantry, and then I've got my fat bombs in the freezer. So I'm set. Like, all I have to do is just pop one of these meals in the microwave whenever I'm busy, and I don't have to think about it again. I did this all in under 2 hours. I washed dishes, I cleaned up my kitchen, everything in under 2 hours. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do that now. And if you're watching this right now, thank you so much for watching. I'm Mariana, this is Vegan Senorita, and I'll see you in the next video.